Thank you. What's up, UD? First I want to thank Ben and all of you for thinking it not robbery to come out on lunchtime and hear a couple words from a DJ. My name's Dave Mays. I'm the class of 2002, but I told Ben and I'll tell you guys, I feel like I've never left UD. I got here and, I got a degree in biology. I studied bio. And, the whole time parents were pushing, education and science and math. And the whole time in the back of my head, I just knew I was going to do music. I knew it was for me, but I wanted to make my parents happy, so I went and got my degree. But in the back of my head, I was just waiting for the right time. My big plan initially was to go to chiropractic school, and literally the week before I was to matriculate down to Atlanta to go to school, and let me preface by saying my mom's whole thing was do something concrete. You don't want to do music and be a starving artist. So do something concrete. Do something that has a stationary job you can always find. And so I said, okay, chiropractic. A week before I was to move to Atlanta to continue, going to school, the school lost its accreditation. And I had a big catharsis, a big epiphany. I said, nothing in life, Mom, is concrete. We have to work at it and make it concrete. And I had a passion for music. So, all right, so I lived in Pencader. I'm giving away my age because you guys probably don't even know what Pencader is. It used to be where, what are those names? Independence and George Reed, Towers, well, Towers was still there, but all those newer buildings by the dining hall over on North Campus used to be this cool motel-looking complex called Pencader. And it had singles, doubles, and they were connected on the inside with bathrooms, so you had quad mates. And I had a single, so I would do my work, and I had my deck set up. I would open my doors inside and out and just DJ. And I remember one day specifically, I looked back on my couch, and there were 5 complete strangers just like nodding their heads, listening to me DJ. And I was like, hello, they were in my room. So I want to play this video, and I want to make it really interactive. Ben kind of gave me a background, and I'll give you a little bit more background about myself. But I feel like this little 2-minute video can kind of say more than what my words could say. So I want to start with that. Does it play audio too?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm DJ Amaze, and my company is Icon DJs. We are a full-service DJ and entertainment company. We offer DJ, hosting, lighting, photo booth, and interactive DJ and music technology workshops for kids and adults. We also teach the same curriculums and courses to adults and teens as a form of job training because a lot of them are interested in the DJ field and entertainment. In addition, we DJ for local charitable events and promote special events and shows. And also, if you need a great DJ for your private event or school event, we're available. Icon DJs is a company that innovates within the DJ industry and also provides services to the marketplace. Our clients include schools and colleges, brides, nightclubs, promoters, private events, and anyone who needs a DJ or wants to learn how. These next pictures are me. I lost a little weight and they're like 8, 10 years old, so I might look a little different, but I promise these next pictures are me. That's me, I promise. That's me.
There it is. What up, world? This is J. Cole, World, the Racks in the building, Dream in the building, and I'm rocking out with DJ Amaze. You already know Icon is in the building. DJ Amaze.
Baby, it's the champ power while holding it down with Amaze.
Boy Kevin Hart, aka K Hart, aka Chocolate Drop, aka Long Face Little Body. Give me a big shout out to my man DJ Amaze. Okay? Why am I giving you a shout out? Word on the street is you doing what you're supposed to do.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Thank you to iMovie. So I feel like that kind of gave like a synopsis of what my company does and what I do better than I could really put into words. So you can see we work with students, we work with brides, we work in the classroom, out of the classroom. I get to do cool special events like spring break or concerts with, you know, national acts and international acts. So it's a pretty cool job. But one thing I want to impress upon you guys, and you know, I talked to Ben, so he said, you don't have to put a big presentation together. But if you have an idea in your head and you're thinking about bringing it to life, test the market. If you're here at UD, you really have a whole community and resources to test your market here. I did it without even realizing it. I did DJing as a hobby while I was here, but that hobby I was also market testing. When I look back and saw 5 people behind me, they were validating the fact that I had a service that people might want. One of the kids said, hey, I belong to such and such fraternity. We're having a party. We can't really pay you, but your friends can come and party. Do you want to do it? That was my first gig. It was right here at UD. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. It's Friday night. I'm a loser. I don't have anything better to do. Why not? So, you know, a month later, now 500 kids are coming to the party every week. I'm like, well, yeah, now we got to talk money because you guys are charging at the door and all. He's like, oh, I was just waiting for you to say something. And then, you know, it was born. So even today, UD is a big part, one of my biggest clients. It makes up 35% of my business. So I'm here at UD, or one of my DJs are here at UD almost on a weekly basis between one organization or another. So don't sell yourself short and think I have to wait till after college or after a certain thing is done to try your idea out. Try it out now while you have what's known to me as a static audience. All you guys are students. All you guys can test an audience that's right here in your backyard. And I think that's important. I never thought that the DJing would come this big. When I told my mom I was going to be a DJ and not a chiropractor, she said, well, David, you can't DJ on Main Street all your life. But last night I was at Deer Park. Tomorrow I'm going to Bahamas. Apparently I'm doing something that I could do. So I've been doing that for a while. Will anybody have questions about the movie or anything that they saw in there first? Yes?
How do you get to meet all those famous people?
They're peers. They're people I work with. The crazy part, this might really blow your mind, all those drops, I use those drops in particular. I have more, but all those drops were filmed here at UD. Kevin Hart came to UD. J. Cole came to UD. All those folks came here. That's why I used them. So even today, making my point even stronger, that use what's here available. I go all around the world, but somehow I managed to come back to UD. You know, I'm here all the time. I know my friends are some current students or alumni. I went back for this talk today and looked at my notes to see how many UD weddings I've done. I've done 50 UD weddings over the last 15 years. That includes current students, alumni, faculty, staff. So I've done some professors' weddings and everything. So the market here at UD is vast. You don't know how far you can grow this market until you actually go into it and try it with your service or product. What other questions? Gotta have some questions.
How do you differentiate yourself from other DJs?
Good question. How do I differentiate myself? Well, there's a couple things. For one, the company is Icon DJs. So I'm DJ Amaze. I have 2 companies, DJ Amaze and Icon DJs. My company, Icon DJs, differentiates ourselves in the market from the simple fact that mostly if you have a DJ company, you work with weddings or you work with one group of the market. Because we're so diverse, it's 12 of us. Some of my DJs are actually current students here. Others are alumni. Others are much older and have families and midlife. So we're able to cater our service to what the client needs. In addition to that, we put some mandates together where if you know a charitable event that's doing a fundraiser or something, we offer our services to that group, you know, during the day, run walks, things like that. And it really does generate business and publicity, but we just do it just to be out there and affecting the community in a positive way. So we like to think of that as one way of differentiating ourselves, is that we really care about the people that we work for and work with. There was another question? Yes.
What was the most challenging part of establishing your business?
The most challenging part about establishing my business was, I mean, let's face it, you want to quit some days, you really do. It's like, you know, you talk to clients, you do these movies and videos and meet all these famous people, and you think that increases your worth, and then somebody says, well, you want to come DJ for $100, we'll feed you. And it's like, you're like, is this even worth it? So when those opportunities come up, or when those instances come up, I go back to my test market. I remember, and I'm constantly testing new things. So I think the struggle is to remind yourself of your ultimate goals and missions that you have set up from your business. So a challenge for me nowadays is more, and you know, a lot of people I don't think talk about this when they're business owners or entrepreneurs. Your personal life suffers. Family members get mad at you. Girlfriends hate you and say you don't spend time with them and you're flirting with girls in the DJ booth. I'm just being real. So those are the things you have to balance and deal with. So I think the personal life is a big challenge with any business, because you just take up so much and you're so passionate about what you want to do that sometimes everything else takes a second seat, a second chair. And that's not always fair. I mean, it's taken me into my 30s to realize that I need to take time for myself and for my family. And speaking of family, I just want to acknowledge my grandmom's here, Louise Mays. She's back here hanging out. And we were doing something unrelated, and I said, hey, why don't you come to this event today? And I have a good story about my grandma. My grandmom is actually the reason I got into business. Now, when I was 6 years old, I lived in West Philly. My grandmom still lives in Philly. When I was 6 years old, we said we were going to Disneyland in California. And I didn't have the money, and my mom said, well, you know, you get up half, I'll get up half. My mom tells a 6-year-old kid this. So I'm like, all right. So for Christmas, I got an ice cream machine, like the old school, which you put the dry ice around with the cream and the milk. So I went up and down my block. My grandma helped me make flyers. Ice cream, $2. We put it in every house. I would knock on their door when I gave them the flyer just to let them know it was a cute little kid selling ice cream. So eventually the phone starts ringing and we're selling ice cream. My grandma was working a full-time job, working all night making ice cream for me to scoop and sell to our neighbors. I think in like a couple weeks' time, we made like $300 profit. Here's where the business lesson came in. Okay, Grandma, we have to get more materials. Okay, let's go to the supermarket, Dave. Okay. So we get everything we need. Here's checkout. I'm expecting Grandma to pay because it's Grandma, right? She says, well, where's that $300 you made? You have to reinvest some to make more. Right then and there is when I realized what business was about. So my grandmom gave me the first business lesson, and I just took it and ran with it from there. So thank you, Grandma. I also want to acknowledge my buddy Matt Levine. Are you a sophomore or a junior? He's a junior here. He's one of my DJs. He DJs at Kate's on Friday nights. I don't even know what's going on. Saturday nights, and does a lot of like organization mixers and things like that. So, you know, maybe we can incorporate Matt into something. Are there more questions? I really wanted to make it like interactive and talkative. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
How do you plan on scaling DJ Icons? How do you plan on growing?
Good question. In the 5-year plan, because I've already, you know, you write your 1 year and then 2 to 3 and then your 5 and your 10. In the 5-year plan from this year is to try to take it to another area. Doesn't necessarily have to be a college market, but a metropolitan city where the market plan will work the same. We have our DJs, we have our offerings and show our promotional work and try to get more business in that area. We were looking at like DC or Philadelphia or a place like that where we can have more DJs that we can kind of bring on and micromanage. So yeah, the scalability is there. It hasn't really been done before on that instance where you have a DJ that kind of is cookie cutter like McDonald's, regardless of where you go. It's the same standards and practices, but it's set up for that. It's just a matter of, as you probably know, personnel doesn't always work out as easily. So you have to make sure folks are on the right page and are up to snuff when it comes to that. So a lot of it is job training, like I said. When we meet guys who are interested in DJing, they come from varying technical levels. We have classes, you know. I teach through special programs right here at UD during the summer where we teach kids how to DJ. I teach at Del Tech and the Music School of Delaware, and we show people how to DJ. So, you know, if you know, people don't have to be intimidated about DJing. All they have to do is have an interest in music, and we can kind of take them and give them a job. One of the things we're working on also is taking it to the prisons. And working with youth and as a vocation, because if you're in the prisons or in the schools or on the fringe, sometimes you don't see an outlet. You just think it's either selling drugs or have a nice jump shot or be able to rap. And there's other opportunities there. There's business ownership opportunities that I want to explore with inmates and with people who are on their way out to you know, help them kind of add to the community instead of, you know, being a burden on us.
How many people you have?
What's the question? I have 12 DJs, I have 2 photo booth techs, and I have 2 lighting techs, and 2 spokesmodels.
How do you recruit them?
You know, it's really organic right now. We don't go through any means. It's usually, for us to hire on nowadays, it has to be someone who, 3 of my guys, I say guys for guys and girls because, you know, the DJs are guys, but we have girls working too. 3 of my guys have to vouch for them. So they have to shadow 3 of the DJs or come on 3 events first, and the guys have to give me a favorable report. And then we go through an interview process and bring them aboard. Yes?
Do you usually do most of the traveling?
Internationally, yes. We service so many schools on the East Coast, no. Some of my DJs have gone to University of Maryland recently, do work in Philly, all around Delaware, weddings in Jersey, at the shore and things like that. So when it comes to the really big special events abroad, it has been me, but that's simply because before I even started Icon DJs, when the brand DJ Amaze was around, I was already doing that. So that's one of the things I'm working on, is bringing more guys to be able to do that as well. And while we're on the subject of that, let's talk about spring break, because one question I get is, how do you get to do spring break? And even down there, kids say, yo, what a cool job to be here for a month. So this past March, I went to Nassau, Bahamas for the month. I got back in April, and I'm actually going back tomorrow to finish out the tour. I had canceled on Ben in February, I think it was, and we made this date, and then I had the tour, but I wouldn't dare cancel again. So I told him, well, you got to fly me back to Delaware because I have to be somewhere to meet you guys. So with spring break, in my junior or senior year here at UD, I went down to Cancun. And I saw that there was one thing lacking. There were local DJs, Mexican DJs, who were DJing for the college students. There was a disconnect. Not anything against the Mexican DJs, but they didn't know the college culture. They'd never been to the States, never been on a campus. So I'm like, oh man, they're not playing the stuff that these kids want to hear. I could totally kill this place. So all I did was there was a company, Student City. If you saw there, you saw even the video at the end where I was singing the song Party Hands. Student City sponsored everything. They were the big company that I traveled with. So I went straight to the top, the regional manager, who was someone I could put a face to, and said, hey man, you guys need a DJ that knows the college market instead of relying on these DJs here who don't. And they said, well, why? And I said, well, because that will enhance the experience of all your travelers. I do colleges, I do UD, I do this, I do that. And they said, okay, thanks, we'll be in touch. So then I went, they're based out of Boston. I just went to corporate one day. I literally went to Boston and said, hi, I'm Dave. I called you on the phone. I came from Delaware just to introduce myself because I really think you guys should take a look at having DJs from the States at spring break. They never forgot that. What other DJ came to their corporate office and said that? None. So from then on, they said, okay. And I had a mix for them and kept in touch with an email every so often until eventually I persevered, got on their nerves enough where they said, okay, look, we can't bring you down as just specifically a DJ, but what you can do is you could be like a staff person, and staff persons are the same as like an RA or something. Like you're just babysitting kids if they have a boo-boo or too drunk to get home or whatever. They're like, but in your free time, if you want, you can DJ on the beach. Cool. That was the deal. So day one I get down there, there was no staff work to do. It was just kind of meet and greet. But students were already there on spring break. So I said, well, can I DJ right now? And the regional manager, same person that brought me, said, sure, go to town. So that beach, if you can picture it, serene. There were kids just laying out, having fun. But we had the sound system, we had the stage. Within 20 minutes, it flipped and it was a huge party on the beach. And the owner of the company is now here and hears about it and comes out to the beach. So she introduces herself and says, when you get done, let's talk. And I'm thinking I'm in trouble, like, uh-oh, what did I do? So basically she said, I can't believe what I saw. Like those kids were having such a good time. Yeah, that staff thing, don't worry about that. You're our DJ for the beach. And from there, it just, you know, I kept doing it. I've done Cancun now, Dominican Republic, Nassau, Panama City Beach, Florida. I've also done tours with Student City where we go to different colleges and put shows together. And obviously, you know, I kind of use that and network and have done things with artists I've met. Like, for instance, tomorrow I'm flying down to Nassau. I'll be working with Nick Cannon and Cash Cash. So it goes on, and you know, I stay on it. But I think, and I said this before, remember to test your market here if you can. All this stuff still goes right back to UD for me. Even the other colleges, even the weddings, everything comes back to UD. I didn't see that in my 10-year plan. I didn't know UD would have such an impact. Me being a biology major and the business I wanted to run that was totally unrelated. But I'm glad that I just kind of wandered into it and it worked that way. So in other words, before I knew I was market testing, before I knew I had a company, I already kind of had customers, which is a good problem. But you have to structure yourself and keep up with your business to make the business grow. So make sure you test your market here if you can, if it makes sense. You'll kind of see the little things you need to work on and get the ball rolling.
A little bit how you expanded from just freelancing like at parties where people pay you to let you.
Yeah, that's a good question. The first thing I said was I started to treat it more like a business. So I set up an LLC. I got an EIN. I did my research. I didn't take any business classes here, but I did go to Small Business Administration and the SCORE program and had a SCORE mentor to show me how to balance my books, and got an accountant. And you know, at this point I was a college kid. Folks professionally will kind of give you a handout a little bit. I went to a lawyer's office, like, how much is a retainer on a DJ? And he's like, just tell me what you need, we'll just work with you. And he didn't start charging me until he started looking at the books now. But before, he would just look at contracts and help me draft my contracts and things for free. So if you go out and reach out to people.
We need to know that.
What's that?
Who is the lawyer? We need to know.
Well, he's no longer practicing where he was, but it's David Felice, and it was part of a program called Artist, and I can get you the exact name of the program. But there's a program in Philly where if you're an artist, whether it be recording or a painter or something, you can get a lawyer who will help you, who will do pro bono work for a year, which is huge. You know, he helped me set up my art. He looked at my articles, he looked at my contracts, all those kinds of things. So I guess to answer your question, when in my head I said, this is actually a business, I need to set it up like that, is when, you know, all those things fell into place. Before I forget, I'm going to be giving these out if you guys want. This is like the official spring break mix. It's got me and a couple other DJs. It was across like 4 different destinations this year. I have one for everyone who wants one. It's a cool mix. So I'll make sure everyone gets one who wants one. Yes?
How did you balance like expanding your business with like being a bio major and being involved with other schools?
Well, the business didn't expand until recently. Icon DJs is something that's 3-4 years old, and I graduated in '02. So what I was doing in the interim time was really just growing my name. There came a point, I'm only one person, so I said, or actually a business consultant that I sat down with said, you're only going to be one place at one time. Either you can shoot up and say you charge this much and impact this group and hope that they'll pay, or you can try to grow your business by having more people a part of your business. And that's actually a challenge in business, is giving up that control to allow other people to come in so that your business can flourish more. That's a hard thing, because people will never do it like you want it done. But if you set up standards and practices, at least you can hold them to some kind of guide, where an expectation list, which I think is important. So in my head, and also for a DJ or any kind of entertainer, you know, let's be honest, you have to have some sort of cockiness or some kind of confidence. When I step on stage or I'm at your show, you don't want a shy DJ. You want that DJ fist pumping or talking on the mic, interacting with the people. So what that does is that grows a little bit of pride, and you know, DJs can be really cocky guys. I meet these guys on the road, and I'm like, bro, it's just DJing. Like, it's not rocket science, right? But the idea is that, you know, I had to kind of digress. I had to be comfortable with one of my other DJs. If Matt gets spring break next year and takes my place, I have to be comfortable with that, and I think that would be great. So all DJs can't say that. You know, we're usually out to grow our own name, but what I realized is I needed to grow a bigger brand than my name, and it's going to take more people to do that. Yeah.
How much capital investment did you need, and did the technology change over the years?
Oh yeah. Let me tackle the first part first. Capital investment. Here's what I did. I wouldn't suggest you do it. Back at Trabant, when I was a freshman, they used to have these kiosks where you could sign up for Bank of America and all these different Chase and all that. I signed up for every last one and maxed out the cards buying DJ gear. I did. I wouldn't suggest it. I paid it off. I needed the gear. I didn't know how else to get it. So I just did what I had to do, you know, legally. But, you know, so the capital investment can be different. You know, if you have an angel investor, that's even better. So the money I used to grow from being DJ Amaze to Icon DJs is money that customers were already supporting my DJ Amaze company with. So there was no initial cost other than the $1,000, $1,500 that it took for me to get my DJ gear that I initially wanted, and I just kind of kept growing from there. It was really organic, and it's still in a lot of ways is still, you know, really organic. And mind you, back then I wasn't even looking from a business perspective. I was just doing it. You know, when you're 19, 20 years old and you can get fast cash from DJing for 3-4 hours, you just do it, you know. So I was just doing it. I didn't set it up till a few years later when the money was coming in and it was steady enough where I had to have a planner and a cell phone to take calls and an email address specifically for that and things of that nature. So I didn't have necessarily an initial, you know, like that. I didn't have it all drawn out yet. I kind of figured it out after the fact.
Right now it's like much easier. Lots of crowdfunding if you need like start up capital, especially for the art-related project like Kickstarters and Indiegogo. There's a whole bunch. They can raise multi-million-dollar. You know, if people like your project, support you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have to like the project. So I have to figure out how to say, hey, I DJ, I have this going on, but it not, you know. Because if I show that, they're going to say, oh, this guy's fine. He doesn't need any money. He's hanging with this guy and that guy and doing big shows.
Yeah, someone like, I want to shoot a movie. I don't have money. That's just my idea. But someone, I like your idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I want to get back, sir, to what you said. You asked about the technology. I actually learned on turntables and vinyl disc. And now everything's on a laptop and it's all integrated digitally. So there's been a big boom in the technology. There's also, if you look at DJing as a whole, versus 10 years ago. The market's flooded with new DJs who can spend $500 and get in the market, and because the equipment is so advanced, can actually DJ like literally out of the box. So the question becomes, well, what makes you so special? And it's the other services that my company offers. We do lighting, we have experience, we're insured. You know, when it comes to special events, guys think you can just jump in and do it until they jump in and do it and realize it's more to it. So there's these intangible factors that just come with experience, you know, that I try to explain to folks that you really should, if you're a new DJ, and even in any other kind of industry, shadow someone who's doing it. You know, find out what's going on. You can learn what to do, and a lot of times you can learn what not to do. But technology has been, it's been huge over the last 10 years.
How do you retain your employee? How do you keep the work for you instead of starting your own DJ company?
That's a good question. You know, there's no real answer to that. My guys we have like a family. We meet on a monthly basis. We keep in touch. We have our little Facebook forum. I think we add support to each other. So it wouldn't make sense to go off on your own. And also, my guys aren't exclusive to me. They can always, and I encourage them to start their own DJ businesses so my business can pay their business. So we encourage them to grow, because the bigger they become, the bigger we are too. We're always going to be affiliated. So I haven't really had...
Are they going to pay your royalty or what?
Well, it depends. If I get them work, yes. But if they get their own work, then that's for them. And that's the way it's been set up. I'm still a DJ. So my company is innovative in actually the percentages that the actual DJ makes is higher than most companies. But also I hold them to a lot higher standards. So, you know, if you're in college or if you have a full-time job and you're a DJ, it's hard to find the work if you're already working a regular job. That's where I come in and my company comes in. We find you to work, so we handle your payment, we handle all the information you need, so all you have to do is show up, do your service, and get paid. It really simplifies it for DJs who don't want to promote themselves, but have a good skill level. Any other questions? I think I'm running over a little bit, aren't I, Ben? No? No other questions?
Thank you, Dave.